Hey Fortnite fans, we are back. I'm sorry I've been gone for a while. I have been out on a business trip and I got a pile of stuff here to review, and we're going to begin today with the new Emote action figures from Jazwares. These are kind of cool looking, and when I saw them initially, as I posted back in a news report a while ago, these look really cool and I can't wait to show these to you. So the first thing I'll do is show you these accessories. So we got this right here. This is the flying slasher harvesting tool, and it comes with the Human Bill figure. This is a little popsicle, which is not a harvesting tool. It's actually part of the emote that goes over here with Lil Treat. And well, this is Lil Treat right here, and this is Lil Saucer right here, and we've got two figures. I'm going to show you these figures real quick before we get into the emotes, because I'm super excited. I can't wait to see these emotes, or to look at these emotes a little bit more in depth. So Doggo is a pretty standard typical Jazwares 4-inch figure. He's got this soft rubber, you can see that it'll even come off, hoodie on, which kind of hinders the articulation around the head. You can work his head around a little bit like that, but with the hood, it's kind of difficult. You could, if you want to, pull the hood back and rotate his head back and forth and up and down and pose it the way you would like, and then tuck that hood back on there, and he looks like regular old Doggo. His arms rotate around. There's no hindrance there. Mine's a little bit tight, so he really heavily ratchets his elbows, not his elbows, but his shoulders up. He has a rotation at the elbow, and that's about as far up as he can go with the elbow rotation and hinge at the waist. It's been too long since I've done this. At the wrist. At the torso, chest, and waist area, he can rotate, and he's got the typical Jazwares Fortnite torso cut up here, but you can't really use it to any real good degree. If you want to put a back bling on him, you're going to want to make sure that the hoodie is lined up, the hole in the hoodie is lined up with the hole in the back. He can do the splits just fine. He can actually sit pretty good. He's going to have to sit to get him into his Lil Treat over here. And swivel thighs, double knee joints, and some stiff ankles. So he's a pretty cool figure. Now, let's jump over and talk about Human Bill. Just kind of lay him down there. Let's talk about Human Bill for a minute or two. This is a brand new style of figure from Jazwares for the Fortnite line. If you notice, he is a very slender, very skinny figure. I'm going to bring in guest star Diamond Hans for a quick comparison. You can see how thick Diamond Hans is. This is the standard original figure, buck, whatever you want to call it, I don't know, compared to Human Bill. So he's got some differences. He's very slender and skinny. His head rotates around just fine, looks down quite well, looks up just as well, and arms rotate around. He has this soft rubber coat on, which reveals, surprise, and this is his elbow articulation right there. Does pretty good. He's got 3 fingers, or 2 fingers and a thumb on his hand, swivel and hinge at the wrist. Now, the secret here is they've added an ab crunch. Now, typically, I am not a fan of an ab crunch. I really don't like them at all. And I don't know if we can take this coat off. Okay, I think we can. If we put the arms back, I think we can actually pull this coat off. Yeah, we'll at least take the coat off this far, so you've got a better view of what's going on here. He looks a little weird, but he does have, is this a chest cut? I don't know, if maybe it's more of a lower chest cut, a lung cut. But you can see he wiggles around really nicely there, and this ab crunch allows him to do that, which typically is not something special, because usually, you know, figures can, well, look at that, he just popped his right leg off. I hope that's not in something that's going to be going on here. The problem here with this ab crunch is it removes this waist articulation, so you're going to have to rotate him at this chest cut as opposed to the waist. It also means that you can't take this figure apart as easily, or at least in this waist area, and swap it out or create some custom figures. You're going to be stuck with this figure, which I don't know if I like an ab crunch. I mean, it seems like it works pretty good for him, but I'm not really sure what the purpose of it is unless you want him in a U shape. I mean, is this a thing you do with your figures? Like, maybe. I don't know. It makes him look a little weird. So I'm still out. The jury is out on if I like this ab crunch, so I'm not saying yay or I'm not saying nay. We'll see. I mean, it doesn't hurt it, and it hides it. It's not like it's out in your face. Like, look at this. There's this big gap here. The coat hides it very well, which I'm very appreciative of. Anyway, as I mentioned, the legs will go up. He still has a thigh rotation, double pin at the knee, and there's a different articulation at the ankle here. So typically, with a suited figure, not only will you have the hinge, the pivot, but in this case, let me pull out my knife here. Typically, where this blue section is, that would be a rotation up here in the leg. So let me bring out Diamond Hans again. So this ball joint rotates up in that leg for a rotation. Truthfully, I don't like those at all because they'll get stuck. Sometimes they'll get off a little bit. And when you go to hinge the foot, it'll be a little wonky, a little weird looking. So you got to like get up in there with a tool or, you know, the tips of your fingers and rotate that. So I'm quite happy that there is no rotation between this blue ball joint and the lower leg. I am very happy about that. So Human Bill, kind of interesting. Don't get me wrong, he's a very cool looking figure. I like the slenderness. It's let's see, what's his height here next to Doggo? Let's get him standing first. Come on, Human Bill. Look up. Look up and steady. And we'll put Doggo here. So Human Bill's just a tad taller, so he's still in that same 4-inch range. So let's look at Lil Saucer first. This is Human Bill's emote. And these are really cool. I love these little emotes. These are great. So there is a saucer stand, I guess if you want to call it that, and allows you to rotate it around like so. You can pop it off if you just want to like float it around yourself, woo, 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 or something like that. I don't know what you would do. Human Bill can crunch down. You gotta do some funny stuff with his legs. His legs, like at least my version, likes to pop off, getting him into this crisscross position. So we'll get him. There we go. Now he's sitting here. See, one of the problems is the ab crunch likes to take over when you're trying to get him into a sitting position. It likes to bend, and I don't like that look. So I would much, that's a very uncomfortable way to sit. I would much rather the leg joints be refined to where you could make them sit better. That's what I would prefer. There, now we got him kind of sitting there. So now you go, whoosh, look at that. Get him floating around there and pop it on here, and then you could display him. If you don't want to play with him, you could display him this way. And we'll pull out his flying slasher harvesting tool. It's not really his harvesting tool, but it's a harvesting tool that he comes with. And there is the Human Bill set. Whoa, this is cool. I like this. This is good for playability and displayability. Next, we've got, well, it was good for displayability until he fell over. Next, we get the Lil Treat, and I gotta say, this is cool. I love this little ice cream truck, and check out these wheels. This sucker moves. I think Hot Wheels, whoa. I think Hot Wheels could take a lesson from Jazwares here about really fast. Oh, look, it even says Little Whip here on the side. Jazwares, they could take notes from Jazwares about how to get fast wheels, because this sucker is fast. You could just play with this. Forget the figure. That's fun. Now, in here, there is a spot that the feet can tuck into so that you can put the rear end right there. So probably get him in this kind of a position, tuck him in there, and there he goes. We'll give him the popsicle because it's part of the emote. Now, if only they could do a deluxe version, I mean, really, more deluxe than this, where, like, if you roll it, it plays a music. It plays one of the music. Doesn't this have music when you roll around in the game? I think it does. That'd be cool. Like, do 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 do. I don't know. This is so cool. So I did notice one thing is it gets really back heavy. So you want to be careful when you're rolling it around. It might, sure, now it's going to prove me wrong, but it might get just a little back heavy. So if it does, well, besides popping a wheelie, I mean, it could flip over. So you want to be careful of that. Now, so we've got these two emotes that are just some of the coolest things in the world. I'm going to throw these figures off to the back. Goodbye, Human Bill. Goodbye, Doggo. We are going to bring in a figure to see if it fits in these, and that is Peely, because typically if it doesn't fit Peely, then it doesn't fit all the figures. But if it does fit Peely, then you're good to go on just about any Jazwares Fortnite figure. So first, we're going to see if we can get Peely into Lil Saucer. Yeah, I got real quiet there as I'm like, okay, how do I do this? All right, Peely, can you get into the saucer? Let's try. We're gonna finagle your feet. I think your feet's gonna be the problem. Maybe. Almost. Almost. Okay. Actually, I think the banana is gonna be the problem. This banana rear end is the problem here. Oh, so he can't quite get in there. Let's see. I don't want to give up yet. I'm doing this for all you. You all want to know. I know, this is inquiring minds want to know. Can Peely get into Lil Saucer like he could in the game? And he can almost. He really can almost. It's the banana back end. That stops it right there. He can almost do... Oh. He can almost do it. And I think he does it well enough that if you wanted to put him on a shelf in the saucer, I think it would look okay. Does he perfectly fit? No, he doesn't, because of the shape of the figure. But I think it might be good enough for what you want to do with it. Now, can Peely fit in the Lil Treat? I don't know. Peely's almost a Lil Treat himself. Don't tell him I said that. Peely is almost... let's see. Maybe that banana back end again. The banana... Well, you know what? I would say... He's not fully sitting there, if you can see right through there. He's not fully sitting in, but you know what? I think this works well enough for what you would want. If you want to display it, I think it works perfect. If you want to play with it, I think it works pretty good. And, yeah. Can go back and forth a little bit, and you know, he's not falling out too well. He's not, well, there we go. Peely had a wreck with the ice cream truck. So I think this passes the Peely test. Yes, that's something new I've come up with, the Peely test. I think he works well enough in both of these. Now, we brought in a female Ginger Gunner. I like this figure a lot. I wanted to see if she could tuck down in here, and it looks like she can. So she's kind of an average female Fortnite figure from Jazwares, and she fits in the saucer. Well, she did fit in there until she flew out. I think she, well, actually, maybe the rear end was sticking up a little bit. Let's see. Oh, maybe she wasn't sitting in as well as I was hoping. Let's do this. I mean, it looked like she was sitting, yeah, she's sitting in there pretty good. Yeah, she's tucked down in there. Good. So she works in there really good. How about in Lil Treat? I think the answer is a pretty strong yes. It'll work just fine. But you know, yeah, wow, she actually works really good in there. Get the feet arranged. Get her sitting up there. Well, she worked better a minute ago. Anyway. There we go. I think she works really pretty good. And I'm bumping my stuff around. Sorry about that. Just put him back in here. It's his little saucer. He's a little sussy over there. Let's see if I straighten it on my camera now. But yeah, there we go. These are Human Bill, Doggo, and the new emote series. Who wants more emotes? I want more emotes. I want more. I want the the lowrider, and that's the only one I can think of that I care about right off the top of my head is the lowrider. Oh, the train. I'd like the train too. Maybe we can get a train and several cars so we can, like, in the game where they like hook up to each other. Is it the animated train? I think it is. So we can get a long train going. That would be really cool. Anyway, that's all I've got for you today. Thank you for stopping by and watching. I hope you either enjoyed these or are enjoying these or will be enjoying these just like I am. Oh, on a side note, the steering wheel here does not turn. Anyway, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.